Well, let's now shift our focus to Kenya, where after Kenya's Supreme Court historic ruling which invalidated the results of the disputed 8th of August presidential polls, Kenya is all set to hold another presidential election on the 17th of October. And Kenya's Election Commission has announced fresh presidential elections on the 17th, and EC's announcement comes after the country's Supreme Court had struck down the results of the contentious August 8th presidential election. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta had won the election by about 1.4 million votes over veteran opposition candidate Raila Odinga. But the court upheld a petition by Odinga, who had claimed that Kenyatta's re-election was essentially fraudulent because the polls were rigged. A showdown between Kenyatta and Odinga is expected, as the government has announced that it will not replace the election board. Now, Odinga's coalition has called for the electoral body to be replaced in order to conduct free and fair polls. Now, some Kenyans have celebrated the ruling, saying that it has reduced the potential for a repeat of the kind of violence that had followed a disputed 2007 presidential election in which more than 1,200 people were killed.
It's impossible for IBC to carry out a fresh election without the commissioners in office. The commissioners could always decide to reshuffle, suspend, appoint new members of the secretariat, but you have to remember that if you are carrying out such a substantial logistical exercise within less than 60 days, there is very limited scope for changes, substantial changes within the secretariat staff, because the people with the experience, the competence and the ability to carry out the fresh elections are the same people who did the previous one. Maybe there is need for greater oversight, certain standards and strictness to ensure that whatever errors were committed last time are not repeated. But it will really be a tough task to ask brand new people to come into the secretariat and discharge a responsibility that they have no clue about.